Let me begin with a question for all of you. Have you considered what your old age might look like? Who do you envision will be by your side? お世話になりありがとうございます。あなたの将来が最善であることを願っています。These were the departing words I received from the respectable senior citizens in one of the nursing homes in Oita. I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to do an internship in a nursing home where I spent quality time with the residents, painting, playing board games, and helping them out with their daily activities. Whenever I tried to have a conversation or help them out in any way, they had a beautiful smile on their faces. Those smiles filled my heart with satisfaction and contentment. However, I could sense their internal suffering. I could feel the pain behind those smiles. I spent 8 days with them, which allowed me to learn more about their lives. They have minimal to no contact with the outside world. They meet the same people almost every day, and at the end of the day, it is just them with their thoughts alone in their rooms. And that's when I realized the need to do something for them. Something that can break the monotonous lifestyle. Something that can maintain the smiles on their faces for as long as possible. A thought that struck me during the course of my internship was that we young generation do not think about our old age, or we choose not to think about it because it is uncertain, and the uncertainty factor can make it daunting for many of us. When I commenced my research on senior citizens' well-being, I was surprised to learn that according to the World Health Organization, the number of people aged 80 years or older is expected to triple by the end of 2050. And that, my friends, includes all of us. Hence, it is me and you, the present youth, who is in power to shape the future for the better. As part of my research, I was able to recognize 3 major challenges that our senior citizens face in the current society. The first one being, sorry, the slide. The first one being generational disconnect. The reason why we turn a blind eye on our old age is because there is a gap between us and the older generation. The second challenge is ageism, which is the prejudices, stereotypes, and the discrimination that the younger generation holds towards the older ones. And the third challenge is social isolation, due to which the senior citizens have begun to detach from the society. I began contemplating on what can be done to solve these issues. And then I realized 2 years ago, I was not this concerned about senior citizens at all. The only reason I'm worried about them today is because I got the opportunity to spend some time with them and learn more about their lives. This realization led me to a conclusion that intergenerational connections can be a solution. With the mission of fostering connections between university students and senior citizens in nursing homes, I was privileged to establish an organization in my university named Genect. And let me tell you that such initiatives can be mutually beneficial for the younger and the older generation. Now you might ask me, how? Let me break it down for you. Firstly, let's consider how intergenerational connections can benefit us as the younger generation. Let me take myself as an example. One of the major takeaway from my time in the one of the major takeaway from the time of my internship was that I was able to recognize 2 major assets that we as young individuals possess right now, but as we grow older and older, it diminishes. It's time and health. Almost everyone that I spoke to in the nursing home referred to their youthful life. They told me stories when they used to hang out with their friends, and they even shared pictures of them in their teenage years. And then I was like, wait a minute, in 30 to 40 years, I'm going to be on the same spot as them. And I began asking questions to myself such as, when I reach their age, I might have the time, but will I possess the necessary health to do what I desire? I want you all to envision a scenario. Let us all envision that we are in our old age. We all are in our 70s or 80s right now, okay? And picturing yourself in those ages, I want you all to ask these questions to yourself. Will you find contentment in the choices you have made in your youth? Have you truly pursued what matters to you? Or will you enter the old age with the satisfaction of having done something meaningful, something that brought you happiness? Or will you regret the choices you have made in your youth? Regretting on what you have spent your time and health on. Once we grasp the true value of this perspective, we will be compelled to use our time and health for the right and meaningful purposes and not take it for granted. This is where intergenerational connections comes into play, encouraging the younger generation to view life from a different perspective. Moving on, let's look into how intergenerational connections can benefit senior citizens. According to a report published by Harvard Health, 1 in 3 elder people experience loneliness. And this includes countries like China, Europe, Latin America, and the US, which means that this is not just the issue seen in underdeveloped countries, it's all over the globe. Such social isolation can result in severe health issues such as depression and cognitive decline. I still remember Matsumoto-san, a resident in a nursing home. We used to have meals together. And even after our meal, she asked me to stick around and play with a doll that she held close to her heart. These are the pictures that were captured in one of the programs that was hosted by our organization. As you can see, the residents were brimmed with emotions when they were interacting with the students. It was as if like this connection was something that they have been waiting for so long. When we left, we handed out a few handwritten letters. And no one was expecting how moved the senior citizens were going to be when they thanked us with actual joy-filled tears. What I'm trying to convey is that it is crucial for us to understand that their well-being is not just about physical or medical treatment. It's also about their emotions, how happy they are with their surrounding, how often they smile, and how content they are with their later years. If we as young generation, if we can bring even an ounce of happiness to their lives, even if it's just for a moment, it can undoubtedly have a positive impact on their overall quality of life. Well, that being said, when was the last time you had a phone call with your grandparents? Was it yesterday, last week, or was it last month? It is our duty to make them feel included. They have contributed so much to this world. Now it is our time to give it back. by making their remaining years as fulfilling as possible. Henceforth, when intergenerational connections can be mutually beneficial for younger generation and the older generation, why are we not utilizing it? Together, we can create a world where love, respect, and understanding flow freely between generations. Even if this speech inspires just one of you to contribute towards the mission of well-being of senior citizens, it would serve my purpose. Our journey towards a compassionate world starts today and starts with each one of us. Thank you.